Bye.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I get so giddy with this guest, man. Welcome to a special Paul and Palz podcast with me. I had a breakdown of all the things I thought you were before. I'm going to add one thing to that, so bear with me while I give another intro to you.
Let's get to it.
My good man. All right, so we have and I got a bunch of notes, so you're going to see me like kind of glance over from time to time. I got to come prepared with you, man. So he is the founder and owner of the Josephine Valerie line. We're going to get into that. He is, above all else, a good friend. I'm very thankful and grateful to have him in my life. Still my inspiration in just the things I'm trying to do to life. I could always look at this man and just be inspired by what he does. I am still calling you the American dream because that has not changed at all, sir.
Right.
What I'm going to add to that is, because I've been watching you, man. I've been watching you. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to call him the Blueprint.
Blueprint. Ooh.
I'm going to call you the Blueprint. There's a lot to be said with that, man. But we're going to get into all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it one time for a great friend, an entrepreneur, a gentleman, a scholar, an intellect, an artist. Almost forgot that one. Mr. Gray Booker. Gray.
Thank you.
What's going on, sir? What's new with you, man?
Not much, just working, man. Trying to, take the brand to the next level. I just, since our last conversation, I've recently added a sneaker for the men. So now I'm offering footwear for men as well as women. I mean, obviously I have way more stuff for women, and it's just right now one sneaker for the men. But
I have been keeping tabs, and trust me, we're going to get into all of that. Before we start, though, the one thing I did not like about the last interview was that you were prepared with a grown man drink in a cup. So I came prepared. I'm not a big drinker. I'm turning into like a square nowadays, man. I got to try to get things in order. So I kind of have to put some of the other stuff away. But on a special occasion, such as today, I got my little grown man drink.
I got my cup. And this is normally, I drink out of a crystal glass, but today we're going to red cup it up.
I stepped my game up for you. I got the glass going.
And I stepped mine down. But it's all good.
Oh, cheers, sir. When you're at your stature, you could drop it down a notch from time to time.
Right. I'm still, I'm still from the hood, man.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. That's always part of the
I try to stay grounded, with all of the different celebrities wearing my shoes and the constant incline. I have to stay grounded and, stay true to my roots and who I am as a person and not get the big head and think that I'm actually a celebrity.
For as long as I've known you, that's one of the things that I'm proud of you with a lot of things, man. But that's one of the things I'm very proud of you is the ability to stay grounded and stay at the level. Always humble, man. Always the stature's there, but you're always equal to everybody else, man. Always say
it's still more for me to learn. Like the moment, even when I worked in residential treatment field, I would tell the staff that worked for me, it's like I had this one thing, like you would constantly hear staff saying, like in a crisis situation, yo, I got this. Anytime I would hear somebody say, yo, I got it, it made me feel uncomfortable because you don't have it. This is a crisis situation. And when somebody else is in crisis, it typically spreads throughout everybody that's around because now the people that are trying to help are panicking, trying to give you the help that you need. And they don't realize that they're also in a heightened sense of quote unquote reality. And you thinking what you're doing is helping, in reality, it could be hurting.
Yeah.
So try to stay away from getting into that mindset of like, oh, yo, I got this. Nah, there's always something else that you can learn. So I'm studying SEO. So I'm going through my website, I'm rebuilding my website and adding those keywords and those phrases and different things.
Always improving, man. God bless you, dude. You do not stop, man. There's always something to learn, and God bless
Right,
you if you ain't gonna find a way to learn, man.
right.
There's never a scenario that you haven't picked up something new. Like every time you're just elevating and elevating, man. That's one of the things that make you an inspiration to me, dude.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, because with anything, I study the game, but regardless of what it is. When I was, when we were in fourth grade drawing, I was studying art then. I knew artists, artist names and all that. I just didn't like when I was told that artists don't make no money until they're dead. So I'm like, yo, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be an artist and be broke. And then when I die, my artwork becomes, you know what I'm saying,
That's one of the things that always caught me, like always threw me off guard, was the term starving artist. Like that is a legitimate
right,
term.
right,
And you love to do the art, but you don't want to spend hours on hours but not reap any rewards. And damned if I'm gonna reap some rewards when I'm dead, because that just
right,
defeats the purpose.
right, right, right. So that kind of what deterred me from art. But then, going into sports, playing basketball, I studied that, and then anything, what I'm saying, I got myself into, I was a big believer in rules are not meant to be broken. That's a false term. Rules cannot be broken. When you break a rule, there's consequences to every rule that you break. So rules are meant to be bent. How far can you bend these rules before they break?
Dude,
That's what we need to focus on.
I was just talking to Will and Len last episode we did about the whole Sha'Carri Richardson thing, and then you know people, the backlash, and people just going, oh, it's a dumb rule, it shouldn't exist. And my point was, yes, it's a very dumb rule, it should not exist,
Right, but it is a rule. But it's a rule.
but it's one that does exist.
Right.
And
So it is a rule. So I mean, with that one it's not really a catch-22 because it is a rule. You know what I'm saying? I think what people are missing a point is that it's. I think the punishment is fitting. 30-day suspension, and she gets to come back in time to still compete in the Olympics. Right? She admitted to knowing the rules and breaking them, regardless of whatever circumstance. I'm glad she chose marijuana and not a Percocet and not, heroin, not crack, not a hard drug, right? But you can't compare breaking that rule to breaking the performance enhancement rule. There's still rules. You know what I'm saying? Although she didn't break the performance enhancement rule by taking steroids and making herself faster, in all reality, smoking made her slower.
yeah, sure,
But
that.
still a rule. So you still have to abide by these rules. If we break them or bend them for you, it sets a precedence for everybody going forward.
I'm super proud of her for owning it.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to own things anymore.
Right. And that says a lot about her character and who she is as a person.
Absolutely.
She knew what the rules were. She broke them, and now she's willing to sit and take whatever consequence that is, which is going to make her a better athlete, a better person. Even if she couldn't compete in this year's Olympics, 4 years later, she would have been right back, even stronger, even better, because she would have had to sit down for that moment. So now, even these 30 days is going to have a similar effect on her. So,
If you learn the lesson, man, and again, she's owning it like a champ. We live in this generation that people go, I don't agree with it, so to me it just doesn't exist and I don't have to follow it. But then there's
Right.
repercussions, like you say.
Right. It's the what went wrong in the younger generation is the participation trophy.
Mm.
You got a trophy for just participating. When I grew up, I've had in my career of playing basketball, I think I've probably only had one, maybe two second place trophies my whole life playing basketball. Those trophies never made it into my house. I broke them on the way home. Because to me, it was, you know what I'm saying? First, it's like Ricky Bobby. If you're not first, you last. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was thinking of when you were saying that.
Right, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember playing in like the mayor's tournament in Emerson, and we came in second place. And I had to stand there and get my second place trophy and watch the other team get their first place trophy that was bigger. When I walked out the gym, I took my trophy and threw it on the ground and shattered it into pieces. But that wasn't me being a sore loser. That was my competitive nature saying, for me, second place is not good enough. I accept that today you guys were better than me. But the moment I walked out that gym, I prepared to win that tournament the next year.
It's something that goes with, all right, you'll break that trophy. Some people accept it, like, okay, I did second place. I did my best. I have this thing that shows what I did. But like you said, everybody gets a trophy. You could be dead last, get this trophy, and that'll just leave you like, I got a trophy.
Right. So what pushes me to be an all-star if I'm going to get a trophy, regardless of whatever I do?
Yeah, it's an accomplishment to earn it.
Right.
And nobody owns anything anymore.
You know you earned it. So, and this is the thing. Take even what I'm doing right now with Josephine Valerie. However this story plays out in the end, I'm proud of what I was able to accomplish right now. 4 years in business, and I've been in fashion magazines. I've been in overseas fashion magazines. This is the complete opposite, where you have overseas brands in Cosmo and all these other American fashion magazines. I'm an American brand in overseas fashion magazines.
Salute, man. Salute. Because, you know, the European look that comes over here, we're like, oh, snap, that's got to be the hot joint. But now you're going over there.
Right.
Man. But again, that goes back to the whole, like, first place trophy. Like, you earn that. Like, there's something that you get for earning something, man. That's kind of lacking in this generation.
Right. Because you get a participation trophy just for showing up. If I get something for showing up, you see, getting those awards, it feeds endorphins to your brain that make you feel happy, make you feel accomplished. You did nothing for it. So now you're going to want that. So now you're going to go to Instagram as a young girl and take your clothes off just to get those likes. That's going to feed those endorphins. And then now when you post a picture and it gets no likes, now that's the problem.
Yeah.
Now you're coping with depression because, why they're not liking this? Why they're not doing this?
And that's the other thing. Like, if you don't get that trophy because you know your team or whatever, you didn't make that enough of a position to get a trophy, it feeds the hunger. It's adversity. It's what you do with the adversity.
Right. So now would Michael Jordan be Michael Jordan if he never got cut from his high school team? You know what I'm saying? That year he got cut, he came back better. Would Michael Jordan be Michael Jordan if he didn't play the Pistons and they beat him every time he went to the hole, and then he went into the weight room and put on 10 to 15 pounds of muscle and then came back the next season?
One of the greatest things I ever saw was when the last series that they ever lost to Detroit, and everybody, that's the year, you know, when you're done, you guys go on vacation, you do this, you do that. And the next day, the whole team showed up at the gyms like, yo, square one, let's do it. We're not going to lose again. And that fire, that's one of those things that just doesn't exist anymore, man. And it's a shame because it just kind of stunts people's growth overall.
Right.
I'm glad we got into that, man. That wasn't what I had listed to get into, but I'm glad we got into that.